Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our career podcast. I'm Ruby Acosta. You probably all heard of awards such as the Grammys, the Oscars. In business, we have awards such as People of Influence, Entrepreneur of the Year, etc. There are many awards for high achievers, but there's only one award for the best of the best in the education sector. And this award is Teacher of the Year. This is an award that recognizes the best person in the teaching field, or what I call the superstars in the classroom. And today we have the pleasure of meeting a superstar of the Long Beach Unified School District, Mr. Lee Underwood, Teacher of the Year 2022-2023. Welcome to our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
So you are the superstar of the Long Beach Unified School District. How does that feel?
It is surreal. I've never really considered myself a superstar, in that sense. But knowing that this is an accolade that comes from my colleagues, from my students, it's so meaningful to me. I think about it every day. It puts a smile on my face. It makes me more motivated to get in the classroom. I feel so energized to just get to the business of being in front of my kids and teaching. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
So when you heard about the award, did you know ahead of time that you were going to receive the award, or you were being nominated, or they just informed you that you were nominated and you received the award?
I was nominated, and they informed me that I was nominated. And they don't tell you who nominated you, but they do. I was told that it comes from your students, your colleagues, somebody at the school side of the district, or a parent, or past parents, and even past students. So that's kind of as far as I can get, but they have not told me who nominated me.
And I think that's the most valuable part of this award. And that's why with our organization, connecting teachers and schools, we do this worldwide. And when we see a teacher being awarded this prestigious award, the reason why we value it even more is because it does come from the community. It does come from the students. It's not just your peers or leadership. It's actually the kids that you're teaching, the parents, people that see you day to day. So from our standpoint, that's why teachers that win this award, we consider them superstars, because you are the one that stands out. You are the one that made such a big difference. You are the one, you did something that made these people, the students, say, this is the special teacher and this is why he should be awarded such an award.
Yeah, that's what makes it so special to me as well. And it makes that's the thing that I think is especially rewarding too, and makes me feel so energized to come into the classroom every day.
So your mother, I understand, is a teacher, right? Or she was a former teacher.
Yeah, she was a teacher for 36 years. She taught in the Long Beach Unified School District as well, and she was teaching when I was teaching too. So
wow.
Yeah, so she came. She taught, and actually taught at a middle school down the street from where I teach now. And so a really fun thing would happen, since that school was our feeder school, or we're the feeder school for that school, however it works. I would get students that had my mom as their English teacher, and at the high school level. And so I would be able to talk to my mother about students that I would have in my classroom. Hey, how are they? And she would talk about, oh, they're great. They love to read. And so I would get a little bit of insight into those students.
And so teaching runs in the family, for at least in your family.
Absolutely runs in the family. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, did she say anything to you about the award? Like, how did she feel? I, as a mom myself, I would be so incredibly happy to see that my son or my daughter receives this award. How does she feel?
She's elated. This is a moment. I like to think of this as a way that I'm kind of giving back to her in a lot of ways. um, because she put so much time in her life, and I watched what it takes to teach well. Like, she was the person that showed me what that was like. And so, putting just your life and your heart and soul into the classroom. And so I think I kind of share this award with her. And
Oh,
I've kind of told her that, and she's, couldn't be prouder. I imagine
yes.
she's very excited, very happy. Yeah.
I would say she is. Now, in your speech, you said we educators see an increasingly important role in preparing our young adults for their life pathway.
Yes.
Now, many parents, and I would say leaders in society, and including myself, I sometimes feel like we forget that we
Mm,
have our children in the classroom all day long, 5 days a week, and sometimes longer than that, and that the teachers and the school personnel are part of our children's second home,
mm,
and that these educators help us in preparing the next generation for their life pathway, good or bad, or sometimes you as a teacher make this impact that can last a lifetime and can channel a student's life into something positive to become maybe the next great teacher, or maybe something else. In my personal experience, it was a teacher that was my superstar, and she guided me towards public speaking, made me believe in myself. And I owe a lot of what I am today to my mother and her, both of them. So, in my experience, my teacher was that person that helped me in my life. Do you feel, based on what you said on your speech, that that is the case for you as teachers, that you are guiding students towards this path that will last a lifetime?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And the, what I've kind of seen at the high school level too is there's been an emphasis on career pathway. A lot of the high schools in our district are very, very concerned about creating these career specific pathways within the high schools. And I think that's really important. I think that's a really important thing. But I agree with you that sometimes it's also important to recognize that we have humans. We have people that are just learning about how to be in the world, and they are asking questions that we as teachers are really have the opportunity to help them answer in our classroom setting. For me, it's through the use of literature, it's through the use of books and poetry and writing, and we can explore the world and jump into people's minds that are so much different from ours, and we can explore the world in ways that are very different from how we see the world. And I think that's really important for building empathy. And I think that if we forget that, if we don't, if as teachers, if we don't try to build that kind of a way of seeing the world in our classrooms, our students are going to look elsewhere. They're going to
Yes.
they're going to get on the internet. They're going to find answers in unguided ways, unfacilitated by rigorous critical thinking and debate. And so I do find that it's really important to establish not just a career pathway, but a life pathway, and to help our students understand that a career, actually, we're going to outlive our careers. Our career is only a part of our lives. Our life is all of our life. And so if we can build ways of seeing the world, being happy, of living with others in a democratic society, through our profession, and access to the students in the classroom, and all that stuff, we will be creating the kinds of students that are can they have like the intellectual density and the courage to take risks and think creatively, and that really are the things that make a person happy. Like you said, the ability to communicate in public, and those sorts of things are the English teacher, the teacher is very well prepared and suited in their profession to be able to guide the students in those life pathway directions.
Now, do you ever feel like, I know you're teaching, so there's that in all of our careers, we're feeling this pressure to excel in whatever it is that we're doing. But
Mm.
do you feel like a burden as a human, as Lee, the person, to set a higher standard, or at least if they look at you, to be at a higher standard so they can look up to you or respect you? Do you feel like a burden that you have to be a certain way to teach the students that are looking up to you?
Not a burden, but
Okay.
a responsibility. I mean, it's a solemn responsibility, but it's one that I think I gladly take on. It is a kind of responsibility that I think is an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing gift to be able to have that responsibility. And so, yeah, I think the most important thing that I try to show and model is that it's okay to be passionate about something. A lot of students tend to feel like you need permission to like really love a subject, love science, love English, love literature. And so what I try to show and model in how I am and how I exist in the classroom and how I live my life, quite frankly, is to show that it's okay to just to tap the deep wells of passion that you have for something, because that will sustain you in life. And so I feel that I have a responsibility to show my students that sort of thing. And I think that a lot of them, when they see it, they feel that they too can it's okay for them to reach deep and really think about things in ways that are below the surface.